being DELULU. And yes, you've probably heard the term before. However, we're not going to literally be looking at being delusional, no. But we're going to be looking at the foundation of it and how it can actually be a little bit helpful, you know? But seriously, we're going to be looking at just how we can just get through these hard times and what we could do. So stick with me, grab a coffee, grab a cup of tea. I told you I don't like coffee, but if you want to grab one, that's okay. But get comfy and let's just get into it, because I'm ready to get into it. Let's get into it. So now, some people may think being delusional, yes, may sound a bit crazy. Yeah, I thought so too. It's okay, I'm with you. However, there is something very interesting about this idea of being DELULU. And now, at first, I thought, hey, I'm not trying to ignore the reality of my life to that extent. I'm not. However, there is some depth to it, because there was something amazing, especially when you see people who have this unshakable belief in regards to their dreams, their aspirations, even when it feels impossible. So I just want to get into it. I just want to explore this and give you guys a take on how I feel about this. If you want to hear me speak about it. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. So here are the sections that I'm gonna be running through today. You can skip ahead, or if not, stay watching, because it's gonna be a good one, as every one of them has been. Yep. Anyways. Section 1, looking through a different lens. We're going to be looking at how you can change your perspective on things, how you can actually shift your environment just by seeing things differently. Section 2 is all about the journey of healing and letting go. This one definitely resonates with me, as of recently I have been dealing with a lot of things in regards to me almost grieving my old self. And there was a lot of things that I've been exploring and I've been understanding and uncovering. And I have a few things that I wanted to talk about with this, because I never really thought about the idea of grieving your old self. You know, when you're stepping into a new space, you're becoming someone new, and you're seeing the person that you want to become. However, your old life is like, girl, come back. I'm like, no, I'm not trying to go back. But it's also about giving your future self a chance to live life, to move forward, to move on, and to grow and just elevate. Section 3, exploring just the similarity between anxiety and faith. There's a few hot takes that I have on this, and I thought it would be pretty interesting to compare the two and see how we can navigate it and also change our perspective on it. And lastly, section 4, redefining DELULU. Yes, because I have not been liking some of the concepts I've been hearing about, so we're going to be changing it. But also letting you guys know that being delusional or DELULU is not about ignoring reality, but it's about refusing to accept the limitations of life. Sometimes in our situations we think that things are just out of our control and we can't do anything about it. But sometimes, in perspective, we can. If we are able to change our perspective of a situation, it can then allow us to alter things that we thought were out of our control. The other day, I was in this meeting room trying to edit one of my videos, and I was feeling quite chilly in the room, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to leave. I can't stand this cold room. And so I wanted to just step out of the cold room. Meanwhile, I had a lot of work to go through, and I needed to be in the room for some time. However, the environment was just not working for me. I was extremely cold. I got a little bit frustrated as well, and I was like, I can't work in this environment. This is literally even making me want to go toilet, because you know when you're so cold you want to go toilet. And I thought to myself, yeah, I'm gonna leave, because this environment that I'm working in is not okay. It's not suitable right now for me to work. It's not conducive enough for me to work in. So I was literally almost going to pack my stuff and leave, even though it was only a few minutes of me being in the space. It wasn't that long. And so as I was thinking to step out of the room, I really thought to myself, can I not just change the temperature? And I don't know why. You would just think, but sometimes when it's not your space, you're not sure exactly where things are, you're not sure how things work, what controls what. And so I just automatically thought, I need to leave. I need to get out of this environment because I cannot control anything. I thought I couldn't control the temperature. I thought I couldn't change anything about this environment that was making me then feel uncomfortable to even work in, to even be in, to be able to do what I needed to do. However, I could. I realized I could actually change the temperature of the room. I thought, okay, it's not my building. I can't do anything, but I could. And sometimes it can be something so minuscule that could be in the space. Sometimes even the elephant is very big and it's screaming at you saying you can change this. But you might not think of this because sometimes we're so focused on the fact that we can't control things, on the fact that we can't change our environment to suit us. And in that moment it clicked to me. I was like, yes. I don't need to stop doing what I'm doing. I then got up. I figured it out. I did not know how to work this thermostat. I tell you, I did not know how to work it. But I looked at it, played around for a little bit, figuring it out, trying to see what worked, what didn't work. And then I finally figured it out and I said, wow, it is so nice and warm. Oh my gosh. Yes. I loved it. I loved it. I said, this is the exact temperature that I needed. And in my head, when I was sitting down before, I said, I need it to just be a little bit warmer. That's all I wanted. And then I was able to do that. And then I was able to stay and complete my work. Now, this might sound so small, but something like that always shifts my mind because I then think, oh, what am I then not seeing in my environments where I feel a lack of control, where I don't feel that things can't change, that I should just give up? What is in my environments that I'm not seeing that could probably be right in front of me, which may take me to look into a bit more, maybe play around with it and figure something out. Maybe it takes a bit of time to really think of something. But what is it that I actually may not be seeing? What is it that I'm being blind to? How many times do we try to run from discomfort instead of adjusting our surroundings? What if instead of giving up, we thought, what can be altered? What if instead of saying, I can't do this, we thought, what can I do? And even though this may sound small, it still applies to life. Before assuming something about a situation, no, really ask yourself, okay, what is it that I am not seeing? Is there something within my power that I can change? And really ask yourself, because sometimes we can really lower ourselves in terms of what we can do, in terms of the change and the impact that we can actually have in a space on people. Ask yourself, am I seeing this through a clear lens? Or am I seeing this through a perspective of fear and doubt? Am I doubting my own abilities? Am I just fearful of what is to come next? Because yeah, sometimes that does happen. And something that I always mention is that sometimes our perspective can be crippled, and it's probably going to sound a bit redundant, but it's necessary to hear because our environments really do shape us in terms of how we see things, how we feel about things, but it can also cripple our vision, our perspective of how we are seeing ourselves and seeing how we are seeing what we can do, the power that we can have, or what we do have. And it's really important to ask yourself, identify, okay, what is there that I actually can do? What is there that I actually can shift, alter, adjust? Sometimes we push ourselves out the way and we're like, oh, okay, no, it's fine. I won't take this, it's fine, you don't need to do that for me, it's fine, I don't need no water, I don't want you to stress. And it's like, cater to your needs as well. Cater to what you need, adjust to what you need. Sometimes, well, I have also been in the situation where I will just then sit. You could either be someone that is in that room that then just leaves, or you could be the person that sits in there but doesn't see that there is a thermostat, doesn't see that they can change the temperature, because you're not trying to think about how an environment can adjust to you. And I've been on both sides of the spectrum. I'm like, sometimes I've been, yeah, okay, it's fine, I'm just gonna suffer. I'm just gonna stay here in the cold, and that's just how we're gonna live. But no. Identify what's actually within your environment that you can alter, because you do have the power to change things. Don't forget that. As corny as that may sound, trust me, you do. I really was so set on wanting to leave my old self behind and choose to step into becoming someone who I have not yet seen. I have had a vision of what this person looks like, what this person does, how they act, but not a set thing, not a very distinct, clear picture. But I knew, I was adamant that I wanted to leave my old self behind. The thing is, I never knew that I was going to grieve my old self. I was going to look back and think, girl, you went through a lot. You went through a lot. And there's residue of the old you in the future you. Yes, I am brand new. And I also know that this is a journey. And this is a journey for me that I've never been on. It's just like when you first get married, you've never been in a marriage, so you don't know what that feels like, you don't know exactly how to operate in that. You're going to learn along the way exactly what that entails. Now, my journey of healing has not been linear at all, and I'm still on that journey, it's still a process. And there's been many things that have set me back and made me think, I don't want to carry on, for sure. There's been many things that have made me feel like that. And choosing to get baptized was a very important decision for myself, because I wanted to not let my old self stop my future self from coming into fruition. There's things that the old me, the child Joelle, went through. And I said, wow, I'm sorry you went through that. I am literally so sorry you went through that, because we're feeling the repercussions of choices, environments, everything. There was everything. The whole combination, the whole experiment. You feel all of that. But choosing to step into myself, my new me, every single day has been a blessing. Oh my goodness. I saw this quote the other day, and it says, every day, 1% better every day. It was something like that. It said 1% better every day. And it was the most refreshing thing for me to see, because sometimes you think every single day has to be super mad productive, and you have to have a whole to-do list that you get through every single day, and be a businesswoman and be doing crazy things around the world and traveling and making all this money and getting stuff done, when not every day is like that. Some days, yes, but not every day is like that. Not every day is going to look the same. And also something refreshing that I heard as well was that there are different points in your life where you're your best version. So even when you're at your weakest, you can do your best. But your best at that point doesn't look like your best when you're at your strongest. And that is okay. That is okay. That is literally good enough. Some days don't look the same, and that is okay. That is still good enough. And this whole point of healing and letting go is just allowing your future self to live. Allowing your future self to have that life that you've always wanted. It's pretty much, I would say, dying to your old self, literally. I felt that I almost lost myself. That I wasn't doing the same things, and I stopped doing the things that I thought made up me. And growing up, I felt like I lost a lot. From housing, to family, to financially. And it was just, to even my own identity, it felt like a lot. And so this grieving stage of when I pretty much died to my old self was that I felt like I lost that whole part of myself that I thought made up me. But it's also the residue that has been left on my life. To the point where sometimes I think about all these things that have affected me, or I'm feeling all these things that have affected me, or when I'm in therapy, I'm thinking about all these things and talking about all these things, and I'm rediscovering why I am the way I am. And that letting go part is the acceptance of that. It's saying, okay, this happened to you, because it's so important to allow the you, the present you, the today you, the future you, to literally to live on, but to not live in the past. But not giving up means that believing that there is more ahead, even when your current reality is telling you otherwise. There is more ahead. When you're down, when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling like the world is against you, when you're feeling as if you can't go any further, when you're feeling like today is your last day, when you're feeling as if you can't even get up out of bed because life is a lot, when you can't even function properly, you can't operate how you used to, you can't talk to people how you used to, you can't even stay alone because there's so much in your head. There is more. There is so much more. There is so much more. That feeling of, I can't go anymore. I can't do this anymore. I'm letting you know there is more ahead. And sometimes you don't even have to get to the point where it's, oh, you're making so much money, or you've got all these fancy things. No, sometimes it's just finally getting to that point of feeling like, I'm at peace. I can close my eyes and actually be okay in my mind. My thoughts don't scare me anymore. It's that point where you can even just get out of bed, and that's enough. You made your bed, you finally got breakfast. That is enough. That 1% better every single day is enough. There is more ahead. Have you ever noticed how anxiety and faith feel similar? Anxiety is believing in things that haven't happened yet, but assuming the worst. And faith is believing in things that haven't happened yet, but trusting that they will. Now, one keeps you stagnant, and the other one pushes you forward. Now, instead of channeling the negative what ifs, what if this happens, what if this happens, why don't we switch it and channel the positive things? And sometimes, I can't lie, this optimistic mindset, that this whole thing of having an optimistic mindset, I think sometimes you just got to be realistic. But realism doesn't mean, okay, this may happen. You know, realism is speaking things into life that you know will happen. Because because you know who you are. You know who created you. Yes. You know your skill sets. You know your competence. Like, and I said this in my other video, your reference points are so important for these things because you need to figure out, why do you even feel this way? Why do you even choose the negative what ifs? What has told you so? What has told you this negative thing will happen? What if you will succeed? Yeah? You can do things for yourself. You can read, write. Come on. What if you do succeed? Sometimes I think we're too fearful of the person we are called to be. Again, I'm talking to myself. Sometimes we are too fearful of the person we are called to be. But that's also what the enemy does. That's also how the enemy feels. The enemy has peeked into our future and seen things that we are going to do, seen the amazing things that we are going to do to achieve. And that's why sometimes the way you're being attacked is because your future is going to be so bright. It's because your future is going to be amazing. So do not sink in to anxiety, but sink in to faith. Something that will push you forward and not keep you stagnant. Being delusional is not about ignoring reality. It's about refusing to accept the limitations around you that do not serve you. It's about acknowledging past mistakes and not being defined by them. Your past mistakes do not define you. Your past choices, decisions, everything is a journey. Learning and growing instead of staying stuck in regret. Like I said, every day is a new day. We're constantly improving, we're constantly becoming better versions of ourselves. It's the same way with computers. Computers didn't start out being these computers that they are today. We've had to feed them so much knowledge, we've had to go through so much development in order for them to be as advanced in the way that they are. Same thing with AI. It didn't start out how it is today. It's had to learn things, we've had to feed it things, it's had to develop in order for it to be this amazing. And just think of the future. Just think of the future. Flying cars already exist. But honestly, every day is a journey. Forgiving yourself and others so you can move forward. Being able to heal and let go. It's okay for who you were before. Accept what happened in the past. Accept the things that have happened. Accept who you were before. The things that you did when you did not know what to do, how to do it. But you made it here, and that is an achievement. Trust me. And it's about seeking help. We can't do this alone. Lean on your support system. Lean on your friends. Lean on God. Or lean on who you believe in, who you serve. Lean on your anchor. Because you can't do this alone. Trying to get up, if it's you need a therapist, you seek for therapy. If you need someone to talk to, you just figure it out. You will literally be able to figure it out. And sometimes, don't forget, there are actually people who are around you that do want to help and support you. Don't forget about them. And focusing on the present. Take small steps daily forward. That 1% better every single day. You don't have to be a productive wizard every single day. Small steps, baby steps. So my conclusion is that DELULU, honestly, it's really just optimism with commitment. It's about believing in you. It's the refusal of disengaging with your goals. It's the refusal to not let your environment, your upbringing, your limitations to life that have been put on your life define you, to stop you. It's choosing to believe that things are possible for you. It's choosing to believe that you can move forward, even when you might be in a dark place, even when you might be in a low place. It's choosing to move forward. It's committing to that. Sometimes when you see someone who you think is delusional, you think, how do they really believe their own thoughts, what they're saying to themselves? They are committed to it. Because you wouldn't suspect that person is delusional if they did not commit to that. If they were on and off, you know, you wouldn't think that. It's believing in yourself and committing to that, even when other people can't see your vision. Because sometimes that's what it is. We don't know what's going on maybe in people's heads who we might think are delusional. But they are so stuck to this vision that they have, to this thing, to this goal. Everything else just turns into dust. Everything else just turns into dust around them. Does not bother them. So if you do hear DELULU again, maybe just have a second thought about it and change your perspective. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I felt like it got a little bit emotional there. Yeah. We're going. We're still going. We're going strong. We're gonna keep going. Because we don't give up over here. We persevere, but we also reflect and accept what's happened. Okay, we're not just full force like every single day. But thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I hope you guys enjoyed today's talk. As you know, at the end of my videos, I have one takeaway, one action, and one promise. And my one takeaway for today is not giving up isn't just about pushing through. It's about reframing, healing, and choosing faith over fear. And my one action for today is I want you to identify what you can change in your environment. And I want you to just look into it. If it's therapy that you didn't realize you may have needed, look into it. Look into how much it may cost. Look into what types of therapy there are. Look into what type of therapist you would like. Look into how long you may need it for. Look into all the details of this thing. But my action is that I want you guys to identify something that you can alter and adjust for you to make you a bit more comfortable. And look into it. And my one promise is that if you keep moving forward, even when it's hard, I promise you, there is better on the other side. Because this is the part that you need to get through. The hard part, where you feel so stuck, like you can't even get out of bed, where every single day might even feel like a struggle. When you get through, you know when they say the grass is greener on the other side? No, it's greener where you water it. And you probably have that. But just in case you haven't, it's greener where you water it. So where you exactly are is where you should be. Water it. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me today, for listening, joining me. I honestly appreciate it. If this talk resonated with you, I want you to share this with someone who you actually feel like needs to hear this. Please, because sometimes we just need the reminder. Sometimes we need something fresh. And we don't gatekeep over here. So like and share your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll see you guys next week in my new video. And stay blessed. Have a great week. And just remember, you have the power to change your environment. Don't forget that. See you guys in my next video. Bye.